Okay, so hi guys. Now today we'll be starting with our session 2 on time, speed and distance. Now in this session we'll be covering problems based on ports and stream, escalator and clocks. Now in the previous session we had covered questions that were based on the general concept of time, speed and distance, and we had also covered the concept of the collisions. And this concept of collision is very important as far as all your exams of aptitude are concerned. So we had covered that quite well. Okay, so now let's start with boats and streams. This is relatively a very simple concept. So now you just have to it is also obvious that, for instance, if a stream is flowing in some direction, okay, for example, it is flowing in this direction, and if a boat is there and in a stream that is still, that is, there is no movement of the wave and all, suppose the speed of the boat is sp, whereas when the river is in its full flow, so the speed of the river or the speed of the wave is sr. So whenever the boat is going in the direction, say we call it downward direction, whenever it is going in the direction of the river, that is, we'll call it downwards, so obviously the relative speed, that is s downward, would be speed of the boat plus speed of the river. Okay, and if it is going in the opposite direction, that is, we call it upwards or against the current, then the speed of the upward would be equal to speed of the boat minus speed of the river. This is so obvious, because say if the speed of the boat is 5 meter per second and if the speed of the current is 2 meter per second, obviously if it is going in the direction of the boat, so in per second, in 1 second, 5 meter it will cover because of its own capability, and 2 meter would be because of the help of the river. And if it is traveling in the other direction, obviously if he is taking 5 steps forward or 5 meter forward, the river will take him 2 meter backward, so the resultant would be 3 meter per second. And that is what the entire concept of the boat and stream is all about. You need not remember anything from this. Now for each and every question, it is just about solving the stuff and ease up the calculation. Now the very important thing that I have noticed for these questions is try to ease up your calculation, and this will basically come with more questions of apti you will practice. This will come automatically, no one can teach you that. Okay, so just ease of calculation is important, and remembering these two stuff, that what is the what is the approach when it is traveling downwards, that is in the direction of the river, and when it is going against it. Okay, so let's try and see some questions based on it. Okay, so let's try and see the very first question. Okay, a motorboat went downstream for 28 kilometer and immediately returned. It took the boat twice as long to make the return trip. Okay, so see, if a river is traveling in this direction, say, so if it took it time t to travel in this direction, then to come back it took it time 2t. It took the boat twice as long to make the return trip. If the speed of the river flow were twice as high, the trip downstream and back would take 672 minutes. Okay, so this is one condition. And the other part of the question is, if the speed of the river were twice as high of what it is, the trip downstream and the back would take 672 minutes. Find the speed of the boat in still water and the speed of the river flow. Okay, so speed of the boat is sp, speed of the river is sr. What they are saying is, So let's try and talk about this part. Okay. So if the speed of the river float were twice as high, the trip downstream and back would take 672 minutes. Okay, and since they are talking about this, so this is 672 upon 60. So this is the time in the hour. And now it is traveling downstream, so it would be 28. We have to just find out the time. This would be 28 plus 2 times of what the actual speed is, and this is SB plus 28 upon SB minus 2 into SR. So this is one equation which we got from the second part, and for the first part it says that, okay, so if this was the distance, this was the time it was taking to travel downstream, then twice of this was the time it was taking, 28 upon SB minus SR, and this is the second equation you have. It said na ki when you are moving in upward direction, you are actually taking twice the time of that. So two equation, two variable, no one can deny the solution for this. Okay, so it's just about solving now. So from equation 2 we can easily get, that is SB plus SR is equals to 2 times SB minus 2 times SR, and from here we can get S of B is equals to 3 times speed of river. That is, the speed of the person or the boat is 3 times speed of the river. Substituting it in the first equation we get 28 upon, so this would be SP, that is 5 into speed of the river, plus 28 upon, this would be nothing but 2 into speed of the river, and this would be 672 upon 60. Okay, so from here you can get 28 into, okay, so this is speed of the boat minus 2 times speed of the river, so this would be speed of the river rather. Okay, so this you can get 28 common, this is speed of the river, and this is nothing but 1 by 5 plus 1, and this would be 672 by 60. Now if you try to cancel it from here, so this would be nothing but 56. 28 into 2 is 56. Then you have 11, 12. So this would be 28. So 28 into 4, I think. So this would be 80 plus 32 and 112. Yes, this is 24. And this is nothing but 2. This is nothing but 5. And this is nothing but 6 by 5 into 1 upon speed of the river is equal to 1 upon 5. And I think 24, 2 upon 5. So this is 3, this is nothing but cancelled out. This is speed of the river is equals to 3 kilometer per hour, and the speed of the boat is 9 kilometer per hour, as it is thrice of that. Okay, so this is the approach that we had to take. Two equation, we were able to form two equation, two variable, and it would definitely give out a solution. Okay. Now let's try and look at the next question. So you just have to see this, that what is given to you, try to frame the equation out of that and try to get the solution, as simple as that. Okay, there are no typical questions based on boat and streams. Everyone has a similar approach. So in a stream, B lies. So mostly in exams like that, they'll give you a sort of an equation that doesn't require this much solution. This question is like this. Okay, you can see this question. So in a stream, B lies in between A and C, okay, such that it is equidistant from both A and C. Okay, so if this is A, this is C, so this is equidistant from this, and this is B. Okay, a boat can go from A to B and back in 6 hours 30 minutes. Okay, so 6 hours 30 minutes, while it goes from A to C in 9 hours. Okay, that is strange. 9 hours. So if it is traveling in this direction it is taking 9 hours. Okay, so traveling from A to B would take it 4.5 hours. It's so obvious because see, nothing has changed. The same is the speed, the same is the speed, the same is the speed of the boat and the river, and it is just about the distance. So if for 2 times distance it is taking 9 hours, obviously for half the distance it would take 4.5 hours, as nothing is changed. Okay. So speed is constant. So for that, if distance is half, obviously the time would also be half. Okay, so we can get from here that from B to A it is traveling in 6 hours 30 minutes. So this would be 2 hours. Yes, this would be 2 hours. So it is clear that it is actually against the river flow, and it is in the direction of the river flow. So what they are asking is how long would it take to go from C to A. So C to A they'll travel, obviously, since the speed is constant, because for the entire journey from C to A it would always be speed of the boat minus plus the speed of the current. Okay, so this would be 2 hours again. So how long would it take to travel from C to A? That would be 4 hours. So see how simple it was. You could just feel it and answer this question. In case you were not, because I know that for first time you would be happy going with the equation. So let's take this equation. Okay, so this is like A, this is like C, and this is like B. Let's try and see this. So we can say if this distance is 2d, obviously the first would be, you can say that d upon speed of the boat minus speed of the river, that is, this is A to B, and then d upon speed of the boat plus speed of the river. This is nothing but what it is given over here, 6 hours 30 minutes. So this is nothing but 6.5. Okay, the other equation given to you is, that is 2d upon speed of the boat minus speed of the hour is nothing but 9 hours. Okay, so now they are asking how long will it take to go from C to A. So that would be 2d upon speed of B plus speed of R. This is what is question to you. Okay, so from here you'll get d upon speed of the boat minus speed of the river is equals to 4.5 hours. Okay, so this would be 4.5. This is actually something x, and this is nothing but 6.5. So x you'll get 2, and for this you'll have to multiply by 2. So 2 into 2 is 4 hours, and this is your answer. So if you are not able to analyze it at once, it is acceptable. But once you solve 1 or 2 questions, you'll be able to get the first solution as well. Okay, it will take time, but you'll surely be good at solving all these type of problems. Okay, so this was just a simple questions that we have on boat and streams, and once you are able to solve them, you can solve any question. Just try to frame the equations and solve for S, speed of the river, and the speed of the boat. 2 equation, 2 variable, and you have the answer for this. Okay, so moving ahead, let's try and get in another concept. Okay, and that is called as the escalator. Okay, so now for the escalator part, it is more or less as same as what you have for boat and streams. The only difference is, so for instance, you have a person who is standing over here. Okay, and this person is actually taking, say, 2 steps per second. So suppose that it is a stationary a stationary stair, and it actually has 12 steps. Okay, so this entire escalator has 12 steps, and he is taking 12 steps, 2 steps per second. So on the stationary escalator, he'll be covering the entire, or he'll reach the top in 6 seconds. Okay, but what happens is that the escalator is a moving escalator, and it is moving in the direction, that is, it is moving towards the top. So at a rate, say 1 step per second. Okay, so now obviously for every second, now the men would be covering 3 steps per second, and now he'll be reaching the top in 4 seconds. Okay, and similar, if it is traveling in the other direction, then 2 steps per second, this was something the men was taking on the stationary, and 1 step per second is what this escalator is moving. So this would now be subtracted. So relatively, now he is taking 1 step per second towards the top. Okay, so in that case, he'll take 12 seconds to reach to the top. So this is quite similar. This concept is quite similar. This is something, the speed of the man is something common to the speed of the boat, and this speed of the escalator is something common to the speed of the river. And accordingly, while moving in the direction of the escalator, you will write it like speed of the boat plus speed of the escalator, and while moving in the direction opposite to the escalator, you will write the speed of the man minus speed of the escalator. And that is what all your escalator questions are. This is all about escalator. The only difference that you have with reference to the river is that in rivers you generally say it is covering 5 meters per second, and in questions like escalator you'll say that he is actually taking 5 steps per second. Okay, and the approach is similar. You have to just read the question, form the equations, and try solving as given. Okay, so once we do some questions on that, you'll get it. Okay, so let's directly come to some questions and you'll get it. Okay, so let's see question number 1. Okay, so now let's see this. So Adam takes 80 seconds to move up an escalator which is moving upwards. Okay, so he is moving in the direction of the escalator. Okay, and 120 seconds to walk up another escalator which is moving downwards. So this is the scenario 1, this is the scenario 2. Okay, and 120 seconds to walk up another escalator which is moving downwards. Okay, so one escalator is moving in this direction, and a very easy peasy question this is. So he is moving from here, and this is Adam, he is moving in this direction, and these are 2 scenarios given to reach the top. How much time does Adam takes to walk down a stationary escalator? Okay, the speed and the length of the escalator are identical. Okay, so let's start doing it. So speed of the Adam is, say, u, and the speed of the escalator is nothing but, say, e. So e steps per second, and this is u steps per second. Okay, now what should we do? See, in both the cases, the distance, see, in the first case, when he is moving in the direction of the escalator, he'll basically reach the top in lesser number of steps, whereas in the second case, he'll obviously take more number of steps as the escalator is working against him. Okay, but they would be covering the similar distance. Okay, so distance in first scenario, that is length of the escalator, is obviously same. So distance in I would be distance in the scenario 2. Now if you talk about the distance in this, so he is taking, Adam takes 80 seconds to walk up an escalator. Okay, so in 80 seconds, Adam would be moving how many steps? Adam would be moving 80 into u steps. This would be the number of the steps that Adam will take. And also for these 80 seconds, the escalator is taking some steps as well. Okay, and this is nothing but the length. This is nothing but the length of the escalator. Okay, so 80 into e steps, the escalator is moving, and 80 into u, the Adam is moving, and finally he reached the top. So this is the entire length of this. In the similar way, for 120 seconds, Adam is moving. So he'll take this many steps, but the escalator is now moving against him. So this is the number of the steps, and both of them have to be equal. So this would be nothing but 40u is equals to 200e, u is equals to 5e. Okay, so this is nothing but u is equal to 5e. Okay, so now, so the entire length of this, so the entire length would be, okay, this would be 120u minus 120 into, okay, what is e? U by 5. So this is nothing but 24. So this is nothing but 96u. Now this is actually the length. This is actually the length of, okay, so now we are aware of the distance. We are aware of this. Now for on stationary this, we are aware of the distance. That is, the distance of the escalator is 96 into u. Now we are aware that on stationary there would be no motion of the escalator. So now we can divide with this. So speed of the Adam divided by this, and this would be nothing but 96 seconds. Okay, this is the speed of the Adam upon this is the total distance that has to be covered, and distance upon speed is nothing but time. So Adam will actually take 96 seconds to move, or to move to the top. I hope you got it. Okay, because the distance or the length of the escalator had to be equal, and we just equated the distance, and we were able to find the time it will take moving on the stationary escalator. Okay, let's try and see some questions so it become more clear to you. Okay, so A takes 10 steps per second and B takes 7 steps per second. A mischievously start climbing down an escalator that is moving upwards. Okay, and at the same instant B starts climbing up the same escalator. Okay, they meet after 5 seconds. If the escalator works at a steady rate of 4 steps per second, then how many steps are visible when the escalator is stopped? Okay, a very interesting question. This will make your visualization far better. Now see this. Suppose this is the escalator. Okay, this is the escalator. Let's make it a bit on the longer side. So this is the escalator. Now what is happening is that it is moving in this direction. It is moving up. Okay, at the rate of 4 steps per second. 4 steps per second. So suppose, okay, so it is moving 4 steps per second in the upward direction. Okay, now A can take 10 steps per second, and it is coming from this. So this is A, and he is moving in the downward direction, and this is B standing onto the bottom, and it is basically moving in the upward direction. Now try to visualize that. For 5 seconds, what would be the number of the steps that B would take moving up the escalator? See this. So it will take nothing but 7 steps per second. So 7 into 5 plus 7 into 5 plus, because it is moving in the direction of the escalator, so basically 4 steps for 5 seconds escalator will also add up to it, this, and this would be nothing but 75, 35, 35 plus 20, this is nothing but 55. So after some point, now B is standing over here, say A is standing over here, that is C standing over here. Now on the similar, they meet after this. If the same escalator works at a steady rate, now if A is coming in this direction, so relatively, so for per second he is moving 6 steps, 10 steps downward, but relatively he'll be moving 6 steps downward. So for 5 seconds he'll be taking 6 into 5, that is 30 steps downward. So this is like 30 steps, and now A is also standing on the similar ground. Okay, and now they meet. So what would be there this? So this is nothing but 30, because he started from the top and for 5 seconds he ended up covering just 30 steps, and B started from the bottom in the direction of this and he started covering 55 steps. So the length of the escalator that is visible is nothing but 85 steps. Okay, I think this made your visualization far better. Okay. Now let's try to see the last question. This is a very good question. Okay, let's try to see this question now. A takes 120 steps to reach the top of a downward moving escalator. Okay. So if the escalator is something like this, it is moving in this direction, and A is standing in this direction, and he's moving up, and A takes 120 steps to reach the top of a downward moving escalator. B takes 60 steps to reach the bottom from the top. Okay, so in the similar situation, situation is B and moving in the downward direction, and it took him 60 steps. Okay, just the 60 steps to reach the bottom from the top. The time taken by B to reach the bottom, okay, is the same as the time taken by A to take 24 steps. Okay, so I can sense, see, I can sense the two equations. Okay, so say that A is basically taking A steps per second. Okay, and B is taking B steps per second, and escalator is moving at E steps per second. Okay, so what I can form the equation is, obviously in the first scenario the distance would be equal, that is the length of the escalator, because since it's a similar escalator, the length of the escalator would be similar. Okay, so how much is the length? A takes 120 steps, and since it is, see this, 120 steps it took, so it was not 120 second, it was not 120 step long, because see, the escalator was moving against him, so obviously the number of the steps were some less. Now what less? Okay, so basically A takes 120 steps, so how much time did A take? 120 upon A. If he is taking 5 steps per second, so obviously 120 steps he'll take in this much time. So this was the time he took to reach the top, and for similar time was moving our escalator. So this is the distance covered by the escalator in the direction against, or this is the number of the steps that the escalator has worked against A. In the similar manner, 60 was the number of the steps, 60 plus something, because it is doing the work in favor of B, and this would be nothing but E into 60 upon B. Yes. So this is our equation first. Now the time taken by B to reach the bottom, and what is the time taken by the B? It took him 60 minutes, na? And if it is traveling at a speed of B per second, that is B per second, so basically it took it the bee took this much time to reach the bottom. Yes, and this was actually equal to 24 steps, and this is nothing but 24 by a. Okay, this was nothing but 24 by a. Okay, so you got the second equation from here. Okay, so three variables, two equation. What we can do? Let's try at least substituting it. Let's try to substitute this. So this is 5, this is 2, and a is equal to 2 by 5b. A is equal to 2 by 5b. So this is 120 minus e into 120 upon 2b into 5. Okay, this is nothing but 60 plus 60 e upon b. Okay, and this is nothing but 120 minus, this is nothing but 600, that is 300 e upon b is equal to 60 plus 60 e upon b. Okay, so solving something out of here, we can get, this is nothing but 360 e upon b. Okay, and we can get e is equal to, or b is equal to 6e. That is, if the escalator is moving at a speed of 1 meter per second, b is also moving at a speed of 6 steps per second. Okay, how many steps are there in the escalator? That we can get easily now. See, this is the distance, this is the length of the escalator that we equated. So from here we can get 60, and leave e, this is e into 60 upon, and what is b? 6e. So this gets cancelled out, this gets cancelled, and this is nothing but 10. So here you need not have the 5 equation, because you were getting the distance or the length of the escalator from here. So you could simply put in this equation. From this equation you got it actually in the terms of the entire b and e, and from here you get the relation between b and e, and putting it here you could get the length of the escalator. I think it is a bit on a moderate level, but it is a good question. Okay, so you just had to equate. The first thing is try to equate. The very obvious thing is that the length of the escalator was equal, so we could equate this. Okay, and then we could get these equations, and just there was some solution that had to be done. Go through it again, you'll get it. Okay. So that is all from the escalator part. Now let's move to the last thing that we have to do in time, speed and distance 2, and that is the questions of the clocks. Okay, so now in clocks you have very standard questions coming in. Okay, now let's try and see this. So we'll try to understand it from the questions itself. Okay, you have very standard questions coming in. Okay, so the first question is that what is the angle between the hour and the minute hand? Okay, so this is the clock, and you have a minute hand, and you have a hour end. So you have to basically find out that what is the distance, or what is basically the distance between, or angle between the hour and the minute hand. So this is a very standard question. Now let's try and see this. So the entire clock is a 360 degree. Okay, and if you see in 1 hour, let's talk about the hour end first. Okay, so in 1 hour, what is the amount of the degree that actually in 1 hour, what is the movement of the hour end? So that is nothing but 360 by 12. See, in 12 hours you are moving 360 degree. The hour end is moving 360 degree. So in 1 hour it will move how much? It will move nothing but 360 30 degree. Okay, 30 degree. Okay, so in 1 hour it will move 30 degree. The R end, we are talking about the R end over here. Okay, and then that is in 60 minutes it will actually travel 30 degree, and in 1 minute it will actually travel half degree. Okay, so 1 minute it is traveling half degree, 2 minutes it is traveling 1 degree, and all that stuff. Okay, now let's talk about the minute hand. So in 60 minutes it is traveling the entire 360 degree. So in 1 minute it will obviously travel 6 degree. So in 2 minutes it will travel 12 degree. Okay, that is what we need to focus on. Okay, now let's try and look at this time. Okay, so what we got to know is that, what we could conclude is that 1 minute the R end is moving half degree, and in 1 minute this is the R hand. Okay, and the minute hand is actually moving 6 degree. Okay, so now if we are given with the time say 5:40, or a general time say A:B, so what we can do is that we have to find the angle. See, the moment it is 0 0 over here, the moment it is 0 0 over here, it is at 12, and we can say that it is from, with reference to 12, the minute hand is making 0 degree angle. So after 40 minutes, what will be the movement, or what will be the amount of the degree that the minute hand will cover? This would be nothing but 4 into 6, that is 240 degree. So it is not concerned about the R end. See, 540 is nothing but, so you have 6 over here, you have 5 over here, and you have say 5. At 5 it is something like this. So this is the minute hand and this is the R end. So at 0 0 there is no movement in the degree with respect to 12, it is at 0 degree. So after 40 minutes it is just concerned about this minute part. Okay, so after 40 minutes the amount of the degree that it will move is 240 degree. Okay, now for these 40 minutes, what would be the movement of the R end? That is 120, that is 20 degree. Okay, but the R end is also concerned with this, it is also concerned with this R. Okay, because it has already moved with respect to 12, it is already moved this much time. So what is this much time is? This is 5 hours, that is 5 into 60 minutes into 1.5, and this is nothing but 30, this is nothing but 150, so it is 170 degree. So the movement is 170 degree. Okay, and this is nothing but 240 degree minus 170 degree, this is nothing but 70 degrees the angle between them. Now let's try and see this. Let's try to generalize it. So for instance, if you are given with the time say A is to B, so obviously with reference to the R end, you will take this into consideration, and if it is given 1, then obviously you will do 30 degree, because 1 hour it is covering 30 degree. So this would be nothing but 30 into A. Okay, this is the angle that the R end has created with respect to the given A. Also, it would also make an angle of half degree with respect to the B, and for the minute hand it is just concerned about this B. This would be nothing but minus 6 into B, and this is nothing but 30A minus 11/2 into B, and this is the formula that you have. Also, this would be modulus in case you want to get that absolute value. So for 540, this would be nothing but 150 minus 11/2 into 40, and this is nothing but 20. This is nothing but 140 minus Okay, 11 by 2 into this. So this is nothing but 150 minus 220. This is nothing but 70 degree absolute value you have to take. Okay. So I think you got it. The minute hand is always concerned about this just minute part, whereas the R end is concerned with this R part as well as the minute part. You can use the formula, but no need to use the formula. You can even visualize it. Okay. Now, similar formula you can also use. See. Okay. So we got this formula, that is 30A minus 11 by 2 into B. Okay, this is the mod part, and this is the angle difference between this. At what time between 5 and 6 o'clock will the R and the minute hand be at right angles with one another? Okay. See, in mostly cases what happens is, if you are talking about, see, if this is the R end and this is the minute hand, so we know that in most of the cases, if you say that 30 degree, if you say an angle, okay, if you say an angle, say less than 180 degree, you obviously know that there are, see, we know that if you talk about, we are talking about that R and the minute hand have a angle 180 degree. So we know that there is only one possibility. But for any angle that is lesser than 180 degree, we know that there can be two angles. If we say that 15 degree difference, then obviously we know that one angle would be something that is behind and one angle would be something that is ahead. Okay, so if they say that 30 degree angle with respect to the R end, so minute hand would make an angle behind that and it would make 30 degree angle in front of that. Okay, I think you got it. So that is what the absolute is all about. Okay, so using this formula we can say 30A minus 11 by 2 into B, and what they are saying is that between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock what will be. See, if you talk about this, just try and see this. So this is like 5. Okay, so if we talk about this, so at 5 a.m. and they say that at what time between 5 and 6 o'clock will the R end and the minute hand be at the right angle. So obviously I can visualize it that at 5 the R end would be something like this. So I can clearly say that one would be this, where they would be making an angle of 90 degree, and what would be something could be like this, where they would be making 90 degree in the ahead direction. So the angle difference has to be 90 degree, and we are talking with respect to the 5. So at least we know that the A would be starting from this 5. So this is nothing but 150 minus 11 by 2 B is nothing but plus minus 90 degree. And if you try to solve this, this is 150 minus 11 by 2 B is equal to 90 degree, and 150 minus 11 by 2 B is nothing but minus 90 degree. So this would be nothing but 240 is equals to 11B by 2, and this is nothing but 480 is equals to 11B, and B is equals to nothing but 4 carry over here, so 43 something. And if you talk about this, so B would be nothing but, this is, if you take it over here, so this is 60, 11B by 2 is nothing but 60, and this is 120, and 11 would be something like 1, so 11 something, 11 or 10 point something. So I can clearly say that at 5:11 something or at 5:44 something they would be making right angles with one another, and that is mostly the case of the angles lesser than 180 degree. Okay, so you can even use this formula here. And if we talk about the last part, okay, so just try to memorize this. Okay, just try to memorize this. Okay, so whenever we talk about a clock, what would be the number of the times we feel that the the hour and the minute hand would coincide with one another. So the clear answer to this is that in 1 hour we expect at least that in 1 hour they'll coincide at least at once. Okay, so in 12 hours it would be most probably 12, or in 24 hours it would be nothing but 24. In the similar manner, if we think that what would be the number of the times that they would be opposite or they would be at a right angle with each other, this is nothing but 360 degrees sort of. Okay, 360 degree, 0 degree. This is nothing but that the angle between them is nothing but 180 degree. So we feel that in 1 hour it is 1. So in 12 hours it would be 12, and in 24 hours it would be 24. As far as the right angle or any angle lesser than 180 degree, we say that it would meet at 2 times. So in 12 hours it would be 24, and in 24 times, so this would be 24, and okay, and this would be nothing but 48 hours. Okay, so this is what we expect, but always remember that whenever you are talking about an hour, you are going correct, but whenever you are talking about 12 hours reduced by 1, okay, so this would become something like 1. And if you talk about 24 hours, so this would become something like 22. In the similar manner this would become 11. In the similar manner this would talk about 22. In this it was 2. In this it was actually expected to be 24, but now it is 24. Don't reduce it by 1, because you are assuming something wrong. Okay, so reduce by the same quantity, so you'll reduce it by 22. In the similar manner you'll reduce it by 22 plus 22, this would be nothing but 44. Just remember this, because in most of the questions they won't ask you in CAT or ZAT, but in mostly exams they ask you this point directly. And why is it happening is, let me okay, I'll try to explain to you. Okay, now let's try and see this, that why is it happening. So this is happening because, okay, let's start from 12 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so the situation would be something like this. Starting from 12 a.m. in the morning. After 1 hour, now what we expect is that if they are supposed, okay, so at 12 a.m. this is the condition. Okay, so now we know that the R hand will actually move 360 degree in these 12 hours. Okay, so let's try and see that when does the first collision happens. Okay, when does the first collision happens? So now when the first collision happens, the some condition is something like this. So this is like 1, this is like 12, and this is the R end. Okay, so now till here it has actually covered 30 degrees. Okay, does the first collision happen? No, it didn't. The first collision would actually happen at somewhat over here. That is, this is 1, the R and the minute hand with some will collide over here, and this would be something in addition to this. So let's say, okay, so this is something like 31 degree plus. This is something like 31 or 32 degree plus. Now we all are aware of, now for the next collision it will move again 32 degree and again 32 degree, and now we all can see that actually something like 11 into 30. So this is something like 11 into 30 would actually make up this 360 degree rather than this. See this 11 times, because we have to keep this movement only up till 360 degree, And if say it is basically taking 33 degree for the first collision and the rest other collisions, so obviously it will be able to collide somewhere around about 11 collisions. It cannot afford, see, if it is moving at 30 degree, 32 degree, and if we say 12 collision, obviously it will cross 360 degree, and it is not possible. So it would be something lesser than 12, and this in fact is nothing but 11. And this is actually happening because, see, between 11 and 1 there is actually one single collision, and that is at 12 a.m. Okay, so that is the logic, if you are getting it good, but you should at least memorize this, because they'll ask you directly. Okay, this is the logic. And similar is the case for this 90 degree. I think between some hours, similar is the case for this right angle. Actually what happens is, see, what we expect is that for every hour, between every hour there should actually be the formation of two right angles. But actually what happen is that between 2 and 4 o'clock, and between 8 and 10 o'clock, so this 2 to 4, this 2 to 3, and this 4, so one angle is actually common between them. Okay, so this is like, for example, this is like 8, 9 and 10. So you are expecting two right angles to be formed between 2 and 3, but the second right angle is formed at the 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. itself. In the similar way, this you expect two right angles between 3 and 4, but actually one is being formed at 3 a.m. or p.m. itself. So basically it is coinciding. What you were expecting is 2 from this side, 2 from this side, but what you get is 1 1 and also 1 common. So you get 3 from here, in the similar way 3 from here, and that is why the answer is not 24 but 22. You can do Quora, or you can find it on any you can find it anywhere on internet, but this is something that you should remember about you, because you are being asked directly about this. Okay, so that's all we have from the clocks. And yes, so this is all we had from TSD, and we have covered boat and streams, escalator and clocks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and thank you, and see you in the next vid.